here doing another walkabout. Thank you very much for checking out my videos. Welcome to the Den of the Djinn. Today we're going to be talking about something interesting. So we're going to be talking about uh, something I saw earlier just now. It kind of made me laugh a little bit. So before I go any further, do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment down below. Anyway, so the thing I was going to talk about is, yeah, have you guys ever seen uh sorry, those cars? And yeah, my button slipped. So anyway, there was these cars that look like polygons. I'm not bullshitting. They look like they're driving around in a fucking Batmobile, unrendered. I'm not bullshitting. They are the most ugliest cars I've ever seen in my life, dude. I would prefer. Uh, so imagine rendering a Batmobile, you know, the tank version, right? But without the sleekness, the curves or anything of that nature. It looks like literally just a polygon that they stopped rendering midway. That is the car I'm talking about. Mind you, guys, I'm gonna be honest. How that car passed, you know, any kind of sensor, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's offensive or anything, but it's offensive. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at it and I'm like, oh dear God, no. Oh dear God, no. Like I said, it looks like a Batmobile that was rendered only partially. Like the basic frame of it looks like a Batmobile, like the tank version of Batmobile. And even then, it was so low quality. Holy garbage. Mind you, that is just the model. I'm pretty sure as far as high tech, it looks sick. I won't deny it. But honestly, guys, would I own one of those cars? Hell no. Just because of how ugly it is. And I'm one to talk. I know. Some of you guys are thinking, look who's talking. Well, guess what? I know I'm ugly. There's a difference. That car is one of those. That car is one of those. Oh, I'm fancy schmancy. I am gorgeous. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. I'm sitting there going, no, I hate you because you're. Every time I look at you, my eyes bleed a little bit because how bad it is, guys. Uh oh. If you guys are hearing that song, the Winchesters are around here. Oh no, it's the Winchesters. Where are the Winchesters? Because every time I hear that song, I think to myself, Winchesters. Sorry. Random thought process. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, that vehicle, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. That little tank-looking car that like it's kind of like an SUV, but like they were. It's the kind of car that they put a basic model and then they thought, well, whoa, stop right there. Well, it's half rendered, sir. No, that's fine. That is beautiful. Mass produce that. It's like, what the fuck? Sir, this is what it looks like before we render all the curves. It's like, yes, it is beautiful. Oh, it is gorgeous. It is ugliness. I'll be sitting there laughing my ass off going, yeah, that tracks. Somebody tries to pull that. I'm like, nah. I wouldn't. Just no. Just no. I would never, and I repeat myself, never buy that particular car. Because it's, mind you, when I look at a car, there's three things I want. One, mind you, they're basic things. That one, I want to make sure it works as it should. You know, that's the first thing. The first thing is I want it to work as it should. Knowing how it works, I know miles on it. You know, the GP is like how much gas I get out of it while riding it. Those are that's the number one thing I want to get. The number two is I want to make sure that it is safe. It has, everything that it needs the car, that I don't feel like I'm walking into a freaking tank just riding it. Mind you, it's fine if it's a tank itself, like it's durable on the outside, awesome. But I want safety functions as I'm driving, guys. I want a seatbelt that actually doesn't just strangle me as it's trying to protect me. And the last one, if I ever had a car, would be I would like the idea of being able to drive a car that I'm not afraid, or how can I say, not afraid, not bad phrase. I want a car that I'm not ashamed of getting into. Thank you very much for checking out my videos. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment down below. But anyway, I'm just telling you guys, with all my heart, when I see these videos, when I see these cars, yeah, I kind of verbally kind of, I want to retch a little bit, because when I see something like that, I just can't help. I was like, who green like that? And the fact that I've seen them on the road is just, I feel like the more these people put on these weird, I honestly believe that a lot of times when they do these when I'm buying, well, a little bit later I'm gonna be buying some food right after this video. But I'm just looking around, seeing some cool stuff about these videos. One of these days I am gonna be doing a spree. I'm gonna do just a geek out spree, some things that I've been wanting to have for a while, for no particular reason other than I would like to have it, but it won't be for a while, probably not until the end of this year. And if so, and you guys will be the first ones to see. Now, I have a question for you guys. If you wanted 5 things in the entire, like, if you're going to like a Walmart or whatever, right? 5 things, what would they be? 5 things. Tell me. 5. Personally, 2 of them would be games. Mind you, if you're gonna go with games, you have to do it individually, because some of the games, like, when you say games, you have to be really specific. I like to get one for my Switch, and I like to get one for my PlayStation. Yes, folks, my hobby is expensive. And the third one, it would be either a controller for my Switch or my PlayStation. Because of the fact that they're so expensive these days, I wouldn't go with both. And the fourth would be a memory card. At minimum 2. I get a 2 terabyte memory card because it looks somewhat cheaper than. Because the cheapest one I can find right here is 2 terabytes, right? For my PlayStation. Honestly, I wouldn't mind either, because I would get the most cheapest one I could find, and honestly, they're like $70-$80. So I get the one, the DualSense. The DualSense one would be awesome. They say, well, why don't you get the more expensive one? Like, because that's a little overkill, honestly, guys. I feel like a DualSense is more than enough for me, as long as it works the same way as my other controllers. I like to have a backup in case when charging, And mind you, Let me show you what I'm talking about, guys. As far as what I'm talking about, look at the price right here. This is the 2 terabyte, 100 and almost 30. I'm assuming 135 with taxes and everything. So yeah, that might be a little high. But this one is the 5 terabyte, and look how much this one is. $200, folks. Half the price of the PlayStation itself. That is ridiculous, guys. That is ridiculous. The fact that RAM is that expensive now. It's almost the same price, like half the price of the individual console. Mind you, I'm even considering, by the way, getting Switch 2. The reason why I want to get Switch 2 is because there's a new Pokemon game coming out, and yeah, it's coming out, I think, either the end of the year or the beginning of next year. And I really want to get it because so far I have all the ones, the mainstream ones. Mind you, one of the because you know how Pokemon games come in pairs. I want to get one of each, one of the. Oh no, I have a PlayStation 5. I have one. That's not the issue. That's not my issue. My issue is I want to get a Switch 2. I want to get a Switch 2 because, like I said, the games on the Switch 2 look sicker. Honestly, I would, and plus, I'm gonna be honest. There are games from the Switch 2 that I feel like are so worth it, but for some weird reason, only for the Switch 2. I feel like that's kind of a cheap shot. And like I said, there are a few games that I do want to get, and one of them is Pokemon. Hopefully, they get other games that are relatively good, because honestly, it'd be kind of stinky that just to get Switch 2 for only one game. But that's just me personally. There's a lot of games that I want to get. Thank you for checking my videos. By the way, I am going to be doing a video tonight. It is going to be a continuation of Einkrad. Yes, folks, I bought the Einkrad, the SAO Einkrad, Echoes of Einkrad. So if you guys want to check that out, please do so. It would be so sick to hang out with you guys on said. Nice. Mind you, I do have an Xbox, and the problem is, I'm pretty sure I have to get the newer Xbox, which, honestly, guys, I already have like 3 Xboxes at my house. Like, not really 3, but the point is I have the Xbox 360, which is old school, obviously. I feel like that poor 360 got abandoned. As far as Xbox, I feel like the 360 was their peak. They had the best fucking games, some of my favorite titles, and now I have to go out and pay almost 4 times the price of a lot of these games just to get decent ass titles for my Xbox. I had to buy. There was 2 games that I wanted to buy, right? And they were some of my favorite games growing up. One of them was called Chaotic Shadow Warriors. One of my favorite games because I loved the series. Xbox was on it when it came to popularity. And apparently, I found out that Chaotic is having a comeback, guys. Chaotic, you can get Chaotic cards. If you guys never seen the show, I'd recommend. Oh yeah, no, PS3 was awesome. I won't deny, and I'm kind of glad that the PS5 got some of the PS3 games. I'm so happy that they did, because some of the games from the PS3 era was definitely on there. You know, mind you, a lot of the PS3 games were either continuations of PS2 games, which meant that PS2 was basically the incline, the upward scale of PlayStation. 360 was just basically the peak, literally the peak of the iceberg. And then it went downhill from there because things went downhill. People would say, well, RAM is garbage. I was like, yeah, well, you're investing in AI, ladies and gentlemen. That's the problem. You're investing in AI. AI is nice when it's a tool, but when it's your bread and butter, your only thing, and your end-all be-all, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why shit is going downhill. It's because you're expecting a computer to entertain. Not only entertain, but make it better, guys. Yes, AI can make it better, but here's the thing. It would only do it under certain circumstances. Unless you don't give it certain feedback or certain groundwork, it will not get better. It will inference certain criteria and then use its own algorithm or whatever and thinking, well, I can make this better because I'm a computer. But it doesn't have the, how can I say, the ingenuity that a human does. Humans have ingenuity. There's a reason why AI exists in the first place, because humans created it. Humans created something that will help them. But people are getting lazy now. And I will never fucking deny it. People are getting lazy. And I'm one to talk. I've gained at least 100 pounds just because I've gotten lazy. I'm just saying, we've gotten to the point where we're expecting our technology to save us. Let's face it. Do I think that they're going to do it? Honey, there are games that have proven that they're doing it. There are, and mind you, there's a reason why certain games are garbage as they are now. I can name quite a few that basically use AI as their engine. And it came out, people say, well, it's the best thing I've ever played in my life. Well, guess what? It's a lot of those, it's the best thing in my life because it was AI. Guess what? AI made those. AI. It's supposed to be a tool, not the ultimate culmination. It's supposed to help us, guide us, give us ideas, show us what we went wrong. But people are using it as basically as saying, well, we are going to have them, lord over us, and that's how it's going to work, because this is our Lord and Master, AI. Yes, Master. That is literally going to be our situation if we're not fucking careful. Exactly. I fully agree with you. I fucking agree with you. And the problem is, they're not getting ideas anymore. They're not getting good ideas anymore. I could tell you 5 mechanics that I haven't seen in years because AI thinks that it's redundant. And mind you, these mechanics, the reason why they're so good is because people want them. They want to have them because it gives them more pleasure in playing them. I can name 5 of them. I can tell them right now. First one, a progression system. And by that I mean like leveling up and not just your character. I'm talking about the progression system where you can put your, mind you, the game I'm playing right now, Aincrad, Echoes of Aincrad. I'm gonna be honest, great game. One thing, it is shorter than I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't even 2 weeks before I bought it, and I'm already at 80%. Mind you, you say, well, you've been playing it all day. No, not really. I've actually barely played it for a while. Ever since I got to like 60% faster than I should have. Guys, if you ever played games like Aincrad or like SAO, you realize those games are getting shorter and shorter. Well, all I could say from Russia, do svidanya. Or is that farewell? Well, thank you. Mind you, again, that's just one. Second one, um, a decent story. Mind you, Echoes of Aincrad, great story. Awesome story. So I won't give you shit about that one, but honestly, I feel like lately the stories are becoming lackluster. They are so generic that you could see the plot within maybe the first 10, 15 minutes at minimum. And then the rest of it is just basically you being, I knew it, I fucking knew it, I fucking knew it. Third one. Again, it's part of the progression. When you have skills or abilities or whatever, I have never seen in recent times, aside from Aincrad, where you can actually develop your skills into something more, like more powerful, more ingenuity, more where you can chain your abilities. Guys, we don't have that anymore because they think those mechanics are going to be boring or whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot tell me, if you've ever played these type of games, these action games, where you hit a combo and you follow up with the next attack, dude, you cannot tell me the slickness of it. The reason why I like Aincrad actually is because one thing I like about it is the very few boss battles that I've been in. The main characters do a co-op move on each of the bad guys as soon as we basically kill them, and they do it sick, man. I'm like, one girl is like jumping in. It's like one girl is jumping in the air and like basically stabbing him in the back, and then the other girl is just knocking him up into the air, and then the same girl is just basically slicing his head off. You cannot tell me those type of moves are not sick or are a lot of fun, guys. It is a lot of fun doing that. And doing that, like actually pulling that off, you cannot tell me as a gamer you do not enjoy that. Like you doing that a lot. You're doing that a lot just to watch the flash, but not only the flash, but the devastating power. And again, games like that are so much fun for me because you actually accomplished it. Mind you, the cutscene is cool. I'll give you that. The cutscene is awesome, but it's more fun if the game allows you to pull it off. Like, I'll even give me a penalty if I fail. That's cool because honestly, it gives me more incentive to pull it off more. It's like, you know how certain games where you're in the middle of a cutscene and it takes 2 or 3 minutes and you have to put your controller down because there's nothing to do? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I love games where you're in the middle of the cutscene and it does not let you put your controller down. You're in the middle of a cutscene. They're talking about, you dropped something, ma'am.
Did I? Oh,
yep.
Thank you.
Anyway, so you're in the middle of it and you're doing the cutscene, and they tell you, hey, you got to push this button or you do got to do this. So it gives you an incentive to keep at it, right? I feel like those games are too far in between, and I feel like those games would be a lot of fun to do. Like for instance, you're in the middle of a good fun cutscene. You're talking, the main character is talking to the villain or talking to his best friends. and they're having that conversation, and in the middle of it, there's a big attack or whatever, and some like big monster is about to hit your character, your best friend's character or whatever, and it tells you, okay, so you got to push these buttons right here in this sequence so you can, do something, like have an action. So you push them correctly, right? And then your character like somehow teleports or whatever and does like a slashing move, cuts the monster's hand off, and like it does other little sequences where you're basically mauling this monster. Again, guys, that would be sick to do. It's hard not to want to play that game. And I love it. Another good game that I want to get back into is Expedition 33. If you guys never played that game, it is an indie game. But it plays. Mind you, that game is made by actual passionate people, guys. It is made by indie people. You guys don't know what I'm talking about? Indie, they're independent. What I'm saying is they're independent studios. That's not the actual name of the studio, but they're independent. And what the coolest part about it is, it has mechanics that I missed over the years. There's one mechanic that, it's a turn-based game, by the way. It's a turn-based game, and in the middle of the game, like he's about to hit you with something, like, and it gives you the opportunity to counterattack. Ladies and gents, you cannot tell me how sick that feels when they give you the opportunity to either dodge, counter, or even deflect. You cannot tell me that does not feel good doing that in the middle of battle. And then you hit them with a counter, for instance, like a counter or a fucking deflect, or it just misses you right off the bat. And then in the back of your mind, you're thinking, ooh, my turn. You cannot tell me that's not fun. I'm just saying, those are the few things that AI takes away from you, is that element of fun. They don't take into consideration what would be entertainment. They just see what can be personified, what kind of story it should be. But no, they never think, okay, so if this story is this, then how would that progress? No, it means that we have to take away from our imagination so that a computer can be correct. That their algorithm isn't questioned. Ladies and gentlemen, if we keep doing that, all of a sudden, the world of the Terminator isn't too far off the mark. And you think I'm kidding? I'm not. We're getting to that point. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. This is your friendly neighborhood gamer Djinn, Kendor, wishing you love, luck, happiness, and hopefully asking you to tune in tonight so we can actually have some fun. I'm actually thinking of getting back into Expedition 33 if you guys want to join me. So stay tuned. Take care.